Okay guys, round 2. Another 30-minute yoga for beginners sequence. This time we're gonna be working the back and the spine, and your back is gonna be smiling when you finish these 30 minutes. All you're gonna need is a block. So if you've got a block, it'd be great to have it. If you don't worry. I'm gonna show you a variation where you don't have to have the block. But if you do have a yoga block, go and grab it because we're gonna use it towards the very end. Again, if you don't have one, don't worry. I'm gonna show you how to use your hands instead. So let's get started. Again, we're gonna come to the top of the mat, big toes to touch, little gap between those ankles. Ground down through the 4 corners of your feet. Make a muscle above your kneecaps. Your tailbone draws down. Your belly button draws in and up. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Chin is parallel to the floor. You're lengthening through the neck and drawing up through the crown of the head. And again, you're gonna take a deep, full breath in. Open up the mouth and just exhale. Doesn't it feel so much better when we do that? And again, deep, full breath in. Open up the mouth and exhale. And one more time. Think of it as like your deepest, fullest breath of your day so far. So deep, full breath in. And open up the mouth and exhale to empty. Good. We're gonna take a big inhale, sweep the arms high. So again, take that lovely gaze right up to those thumb knuckles. On your exhale, come all the way down into that forward fold. So nice into that forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Take an inhale, and again, you're only gonna lift up to a halfway lift. If your fingertips float up off the mat, it's fine. If you need to bend your knees, fine. Plant your hands, and we're gonna step the right leg back. So the right leg goes straight back behind. Anchor through that right heel, press the right hamstring up to the ceiling, and on your inhale, bring your left arm up. So already getting into the back. Lovely twist here. Inhale, left arm comes up. And exhale, your left hand back down into the mat. And again, inhale, bring the right arm high. And exhale, bring your right hand back down to the mat. I'm gonna do one more time just on the left-hand side. So inhale, your left arm sweeps high, open up the chest. Exhale, your left hand right back down to the mat. Step your left leg back to your right leg. And again, just like what we did in hamstrings and groins, we're gonna lower the knees, lift the tailbone, and slowly lower chest and chin down. But we're gonna stay here now for 3 breaths. Breathe in for 1, and breathe out for 1. Lift that tailbone higher, breathe in for 2, and breathe out for 2. One more time, full breath in for 3, and breathe all the way out for 3. Inhale, come through just to that cobra, chest and the head lift. Maybe you're gonna work on straightening the arms, coming all the way up into upward facing dog. Take your time. And exhale, push back towards your heels into that child's pose. But this time in the child's pose, I want you to walk your hands all the way over to the right so we get the twist in the back. Keep the hips back towards those heels. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. Inhale, walk your hands back to center. Exhale, push up into that tabletop. And on your inhale, lift the tailbone, press the belly down, open up the chest, and draw up through the crown of the head. Couple cat-cow stretches now. On your exhale, tuck your tailbone, round the spine, and let the head hang. And again, 2 more times. Inhale to lift the tailbone, press the belly down, lengthen through the crown of the head. And on your exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, let the head hang. One more time, just like that. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale to tuck and to round. And now that we're rounded, we are in the perfect position to come back into downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, lift the hips up, and draw the hips back. And again, take the time to walk your dog up. Bend your right knee, press your left heel down. Bend your left knee, press your right heel down. 2 more times. Right knee bends, left heel presses down. Left knee bends, right heel presses down.
One more round of that. Right knee, left heel presses down. Left knee bends, right heel presses down. And then just extend that left heel back down into downward facing dog. Look at the space between your hands. Step your right foot up to your hands. Step your left foot. And exhale, come down into that forward fold. Inhale, we're gonna come all the way up. So we're gonna sweep all the way up. And exhale, just bring the palms of the hands together, right down through heart center. Back into Samastitihi. Take a deep full breath in here. Keep your mouth closed and just slowly exhale out of the nose. And again, moving the breath around the body, in and out of the nose. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out of the nose. One more time, inhale through the nose. And exhale out of the nose. Inhale, bring the arms up, gaze to those thumb knuckles. Exhale, you're gonna dive forward into that forward fold. Remember to bend your knees as much as you need to. And when you're ready, you're gonna step your left leg back. So left leg goes straight back behind you, back into that low lunge. Once you're in your low lunge, inhale, sweep the right arm high. Right arm sweeps high. And exhale your right hand back down to the mat. Take it on the left hand side. Inhale, your left arm sweeps high. And exhale your left hand back down to the mat. One more time, just on the right hand side. Inhale, your right arm sweeps high. Exhale your right hand back down to the mat. Step your right leg back to your left leg into that high plank. Lower knees, lift the tailbone. Slowly bend the elbows into the sides of the waist to bring the chest and the chin down. And again, 3 breaths here. Breathe in for 3. And breathe out for 3. Watch your breath. Breathe in for 2. And breathe out for 2. One more deep full breath in for 1. And breathe all the way out for 1. As you inhale, again, you're gonna lift the chest and the head. Either stay with gentle bend in the elbows or coming all the way up to upward facing dog. We're gonna hold our cobra or our upward facing dog. Take the gaze over your right shoulder. Come back to center and take the gaze over the left shoulder. And again, come back to center. We're gonna then shift back into that lovely child's pose again. But this time, we're gonna walk the hands all the way over to the left. Walking the hands over to the left, you're gonna feel a nice twist, nice opening here. Take a breath in. And a long, slow, steady exhale out. Inhale, walk back to center. And exhale, lift up again onto those hands and the knees. This time, we're gonna really twist into the back. We're gonna reach the right arm high. Right arm reaches high. And as you exhale, thread your right arm all the way through your left arm, coming down onto really the side of the head. Left palm of the hand can stay down. You can press the left palm of the hand down. The gaze is gonna lift up towards that ceiling, towards that blue sky, wherever you are. Or you can reach the left arm up. It's like a wing. So it just is hanging out in the air, wherever you are, but you're gonna feel a twist and opening in that spine. Take another deep, full breath in. Stay here and just exhale. Enjoy that twist, that opening in the spine. And inhale, bring the left palm of the hand down. Lift yourself all the way up. Exhale, just stay in your tabletop. So we're gonna take it on the other side. Inhale, swing the left arm high. Left arm sweeps high. Exhale, thread your left arm through underneath your right arm. Come down onto the side of the head. Either press the right palm of the hand down into the mat, or again, you just reach that right arm up. It's like a wing that's just hanging out in air, in space, and you're breathing into the twist that you're gonna feel right around here, really in your upper lumbar and your lower thoracic part of your spine. Take another deep breath in. And exhale the right palm of the hand down. Lift yourself back up into tabletop. Take another breath in. And curl your toes under. Exhale right back into downward facing dog. So we're back in that downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna bend the knees, look forward, step your left foot up, Step your right foot up, and exhale, come down into that forward fold. Again, take it all the way up. Sweep all the way up. And exhale, bring the palms of the hands right back down to heart center. Good, I'm gonna turn towards the camera so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. You can stay at the top of your mat. So we've ended here with palms together, coming back into Samastiti here, and we're gonna take it into chair pose. You're gonna bend the knees deeply. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's a chair pose, sitting in an imaginary chair. And as you sit down, draw your hips back. Sweep your arms up. Good, and the tailbone, rather than sticking out behind you, draw your tailbone down towards your mat. So really scooping that tailbone under. Take a breath in. And exhale, bring your hands back now to heart center. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades away. And exhale, you're gonna twist. You're gonna take that left upper arm, hook it around the outer seam of that right leg. Try to get your thumb knuckles right to your heart center. Your wrists are stacking, your elbows are stacking, and you're keeping those knees in line. So a lot of times a knee comes forward, we're gonna draw the knee back. So keeping the knees in line. One more deep full breath in. And exhale, just come down into that forward fold. Nice little ragdoll here, breath in and breath out. Good, inhale to sweep high, come all the way back up. And exhale your hands together, heart center. Good, we're gonna go back into chair, do the other side. So bend those knees deeply, sit back into that chair, sweep your arms up. Coming into chair pose, again, be mindful of where your tailbone is. Try not to stick it out behind you, but rather bring the tailbone pointing down towards your mat. Breath in. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Inhale to roll the shoulder blades away. And exhale, we're gonna hook the right upper arm across the outer seam of that left leg. Palms together. Thumb knuckles eventually come in line with your sternum. Look at your knees. If you've got your back knee popping up in front, draw your hip and your knee back, keeping those knees in line. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, just come down into that forward fold. Give it a little shake out, bend your knees as much as you need to, maybe catch opposite elbows with your hands. Take a little swing from side to side to side to side. Brilliant, you guys. Inhale very slowly, just come all the way up. So we're gonna sweep all the way up. I'm gonna come back to the top of the mat and exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. From here, again, inhale, sweep the arms nice and high. And on your exhale, come down into that forward fold, right down into that forward fold. Inhale, this time I want you to lift up just to that halfway lift. Remember that your fingertips can totally float up off your mat. And from here, we're gonna exhale, we're gonna step the right leg back again. So the right leg's gonna come back. You can drop your knee if it's too much, or you're gonna inhale, lift right up into a high lunge. If this is too much, drop your right knee down. If you can, eventually you're gonna pick that right knee up. Exhale your hands together, heart center. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades away. We've got another twist. We're gonna hook the right upper arm across the outer seam of that left leg. Again, you can bring your back knee down. You can even lift your upper body up and extend both arms out to the side. We're just looking for a twist in that back now. Working the spine, working the muscles around the spine. So option is here, option is with the leg lifted and the palms of the hands together. Thumb knuckles right at that sternum. Take another breath in. And we're gonna exhale, slowly release. Both hands frame the left foot. From here, step your left foot back to your right foot. Drop your knees, lift your tailbone, lower it down, working that back. Inhale to push through cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, push it right back into downward facing dog. Take a deep full breath in. And a long, slow, steady exhale out. To get to the left-hand side now, we're just gonna inhale. We're gonna bring that right leg high. So we're gonna bring the right leg high,
And we're gonna softly exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. So again, we've got this option to bring the left knee down. Inhale to lift the upper body and the arms up. If it feels okay, work on your balance here, lifting that back leg up. Exhale your hands at heart center. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades away. And exhale, very carefully hook the left upper arm across the outer seam of that right leg. Option, of course, is that left knee comes down, the upper body lifts, and you lengthen your arms out to the side. Right? So many options with the twist. We're just lifting and lengthening through the crown of the head, finding a twist in that spine. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. Both hands again, frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to your left foot. And again, we're gonna lower knees, chest, and chin. Inhale to come through cobra or upward facing dog. And from here, we're gonna exhale back into our balasana, into our child's pose. Once you're in child's pose, take a breath in and a long, slow, steady exhale out. Good. From here, we're gonna come down onto our bellies. So you're just gonna slide yourself all the way through. So you're down onto that belly. We're gonna keep the hands underneath the shoulders. So think of having the tops of your fingers aligned with the tops of your shoulders. What will happen is your elbows will wanna flare out. We wanna bring the elbows in. We wanna squeeze them in to the sides of the waist. Keep your feet hip width distance apart. Maybe you want to try to bring the sides of the feet together. See what feels good in your back. Start then with your forehead on the mat. What that does is it keeps the spine long. Keep the tops of the feet right here, pressing down into the mat. Engage your thighs on your inhale. Lift the chest and the head. And now lift the palms of the hands up. Watch those elbows that they don't flare out. Keep them squeezing into the sides of the waist. Chest is open, gaze is forward, maybe even a little bit up. Take 2 more breaths. Breathe in for 2 and breathe out for 2. Use the tops of the feet, press them down into the mat. Breathe in for 1 and breathe out for 1. Inhale to come down. Exhale just to take a little break here. You can shimmy those hips from side to side. Now interlace your fingers behind your back. As you interlace your fingers behind your back, work on straightening those arms, again, without jamming through those elbows. Keep your feet exactly where they are, about hip width distance apart. On your next inhale, again, you're gonna lift the chest and the head, but you're also this time gonna lift the legs. Now my fist is gonna lift up a little bit, but it's gonna draw back towards my heels. So here, I'm pressing my pelvic floor down into the mat. My pelvic floor, my pointy hip bones, pressing down into the mat. That's gonna help me to lift a little bit higher. Stay here again, 2 more breaths. Breathe in for 2 and breathe out for 2. Use the inhale to maybe lift a little bit higher for 1 and breathe out for 1. Very slowly, inhale. Come all the way down, bring your forehead back to the mat. Arms can just flap alongside the body. Shimmy your hips from side to side to side. Bend both knees. Catch a hold of the outer edges of your feet or your ankles. If this is too much, we're gonna do this pose twice. If this is too much, you're gonna lengthen your left leg back, but keep a hold of that right foot or that right ankle and bring your left forearm out in front of you. So I'm gonna demo with 1 leg each side. Those of you who wanna go into full Dhanurasana with both hands to the ankles or feet, we're gonna be doing 2 sets here. So on your inhale, either lift 1 leg or both legs up. You've got 3 breaths now. Breathe in for 3 and breathe out for 3. I want you to imagine you're breathing right into that heart for 2 and breathe out for 2. Look at your back is smiling. I think my back is in a smiley shape right now, so it's definitely smiling. Breathe in for 1 and breathe out for 1. Good. Inhale to release and exhale again. Let your arms and your legs flop by. So you're just shimming those hips side to side. If you took the right leg and you're doing one leg at a side, you're gonna do the exact same thing with the left leg. Right forearm comes out in front. I'm gonna demo this time with both legs. Some of you are gonna be doing both legs twice. Grab a hold of the outer edges of your feet or your ankles, and when you're ready, press your pointy hip bones down, your pelvic floor comes down. On the inhale, lift up. Open up that heart, that chest, and breathe out. So again, we're opening up the back, we're working the muscles around the spine. We're basically doing something opposite of what our body's used to, which is forward folding, right? Sitting at a desk, sitting in public transportation, driving our car, and this is what makes our back very happy. Give me that one more deep full breath in. Stay lifted. Exhale to empty. And inhale. Very slowly come all the way down. Bring your forehead down. Keep your knees bent. Let your arms flop. And now just windscreen your feet from side to side to side. Just softening that back. Feet flop down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Push back into that child's pose. Once you're back in that child's pose, anchor through the forehead. Deep, full breath in. And a long, slow, steady exhale out. Inhale to come forward into tabletop. Just walk the knees right up to the backs of the wrists. So knees come up to the backs of the wrists and lifting all the way up. So upper body lifts, we're coming into camel. Now camel is a really deep back bend. This is gonna prepare us for when we come down onto the back into our bridges. Keep your knees and your feet hip width distance apart. If you are a true beginner, curl your toes under. Yeah, just curl your toes under. It gives you a little bit more stability here. If not, of course, you can take the tops of the feet down into the mat. Heels of the hands to the lower back. Draw the elbows in. When we draw the elbows in, it helps to broaden across the collarbones. We want to keep the elbows drawing in because we want to keep that stretch across the heart. Inhale. As you inhale, you're going to lift the chest. Keep drawing the elbows in. And as you exhale, you are going to go up and back, but you're going to keep your hips over your knees. Hips over your knees. That's why the heels of the hands are there for you. 4 more breaths. Breathe in for 2. And breathe out for 2. Breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 3. Those of you with the toes curled under, maybe take your hands to the heels for the last 2 breaths. Breathe in for 4. And breathe out for 4. 1 more full breath in for 5. And breathe all the way out for 5. Those of you with the hands to your heels, just bring your hands back to your lower back. And sit back under the heels, coming into Virasana. Hands to the thighs. A lot of times we feel like, right? After doing camel, it feels a bit weird. That's normal. Feeling a bit weird after camel is a normal thing. It's also a very good thing. We're just releasing a lot of just junk and stuff and blocked emotion, opening up the heart. So close your eyes here, hands to the thighs. Give me 1 deep full breath in. And this time I actually do want you to open up the mouth and let it all out. Just close the mouth and go back to that breathing in and out of the nose. From here, we're just gonna shift the hips to one side of the heels. We're gonna bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet. Now, here comes the block. So if you've got your block, bring your block close to you so it's easy for you to grab. And any way you like, slowly come down onto your back. Any way you like, coming down onto your back. We're gonna hold 10 breaths in our bridge pose. Our bridge, think of bridge as like, it's so igniting, it's so energizing. It's better than a shot of espresso, for sure. It's better than green tea, it's better than a green juice. This thing will get you through anything, right? You got a big meeting coming up, you need some energy, come into a bridge. So we're gonna release the arms and the hands alongside the body. Walk the backs of the heels up so that they just barely touch the tips of your middle fingers. So backs of the heels barely touching the tips of the middle fingers. I'm gonna get my block ready.
I'm also gonna show you without using a block. So you're gonna ground down through the center of your heels. Center of your heels ground down. You're really not using your toes very much for this. And on your inhale, you're gonna lift your hips up. So you can stay here without a block. You can lift your hips up. Hopefully you can see I may interlace my fingers underneath my back, draw my upper arms in, press the fist down into the mat, which is gonna give me a little bit more height in my hips. Try not to clench your glutes too much. Let them release so you're moving really so that you're using your leg strength, but also you're using the muscles around the spine. If you're gonna use that block, again, grab that block and you can place it long ways, right? So I've got this flat side right on my sacrum. It feels amazing. If you're not quite there yet, go to the short side and bring it down, right? Again, you can just have your arms and your hands alongside the body. If you're not using a block, but you still want that lift, right? But you want a supported lift, take your hands underneath your hips. So I've given you lots of options here really to help open up the back, strengthen the spine, strengthen the muscles around the spine, and lift those hips. So I think we've got only about 2 more breaths after all my talking. So last 2 breaths, breathe in for 2. And breathe out for 2. And breathe in for 1. Breathe out for 1. Good. Very slowly, chin to the chest. Lower the hips down. You can remove your block out from underneath you. Right, just remove it out. And from here, just swing those knees a little bit from side to side to side. Hug the knees right into the chest. Again, as you hug in, lengthen your tailbone down onto the mat. So lengthen the tailbone long onto the mat. And we're just gonna keep the right knee hugging in. Extend your left leg long. So left leg goes long. Interlace your fingers around the top of the right knee. Give it a good old hug in. Ooh, yeah, feels good. Now take the right knee all the way over to the left with the left hand. So your right hip really is pointing up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Extend your right arm out to the right and the gaze goes to the right. Try to keep both shoulder blades down onto the mat. A lot of times the right shoulder blade wants to lift up. We want to really stabilize through both shoulder blades. So keep that right shoulder blade down and take your gaze beyond your right fingertips. Just give me 3 more breaths here. Breathe in for 3. And breathe out for 3. Breathe in for 2. And breathe out for 2. 1 more full breath in. And breathe all the way out. Good, your inhale brings that right knee back to center. Just go ahead, lengthen it down, give it a good shake out. And keep the right leg long, hug the left knee in, and give it a good old hug in. Take the left knee all the way over to the right with the right hand. So this time, again, your left hip peels up off the mat. Extend your left arm long and take the gaze to the left. Maybe close your eyes here. Just soften around the spine, soften around the belly. 3 breaths, breathe in 3. And breathe out for 3. Breathe in for 2. And breathe out for 2. Give me 1 more full breath in. And breathe all the way out. Inhale, bring your left knee back to center. Lengthen the left leg long. Give those legs a little shake out. Let the legs flop. Let the arms flop. Palms of the hands are facing up. And you're just getting comfortable in your final resting pose, Shavasana. So I'm gonna get up and take you guys through just a nice little relaxation while you're in Shavasana. So once you've found your final resting pose, go ahead, close your eyes. Definitely, that helps to keep the central nervous system nice and calm. And allow your entire physical body to melt into the mat. And this time, just imagine you've put a circle around your body, around your mat. And you're allowing yourself now to go float away in that bubble. Just go float away somewhere special to you.
Let go of your breath. Thoughts come in. You let them come in and then you let them go out. And you're just floating away. As your physical body melts down, allow your spirit, the lightness within you, to float away. And that can be floating over clouds, around the clouds. Maybe it's floating down a beautiful stream, a lovely river. But feel the sensation of your spirit being lifted and floating while your physical body is dissolving and melting. And right here, right now, allow your body just to stay exactly where it is. Float for a few more moments. And now in your own time, very slowly, start to find little bits of movement in your fingers and your toes. Maybe circle your ankles and your wrists. Bring your arms up over your head. Give yourself a big stretch. Point your toes away. Hug your knees into your chest. And take a roll over to either the left or right hand side of your mat to help press yourself all the way up to your comfortable seated position. And once you've come to that comfortable seated position, bring your hands together at heart center. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Amazing practice, you guys. And be sure to stay tuned for the next one, which is all about your core. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.